This is Deb with Four Seasons Crafts. We are going to make a 2-pocket envelope or card today. We are going to be using the Handsomely Suited stamp set and dies to make it. So we just have actually just 1 or 2 things we're using out of this set, but it is retiring. So if you do like it, it comes with a lot of different dies to make shirts and ties and suspenders and pockets. And it has some really neat sentiments for men. So I think it's a great set if it's one of those that you're looking to get. So let me go ahead and show you what we're making, and then we're going to get started. So this is what a 2-pocket envelope or card looks like. And this is some old paper that I had. But here's a pocket here. See that? Then I close it, turn it around, and there's a pocket right here. I mean, super cool. So as we've been going through and finding ways to use up our designer series paper, this is a great way to use up some 6x6 sheets. And these would make great birthday envelopes or graduation envelopes. I loved it, and it was so simple. And again, you could just make a whole bunch of these and have them ready to go. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to be using a piece of Night and Navy, and I think this is, I will tell you here, I believe it is Sahara Sand. All right, so let me bring out our measurements. Here they are. Now, the first one that we're going to do, I'm actually going to show you how to make it, but we're only going to have 1 pocket. Then I'm going to show you another one, like the one I just showed you with 2 pockets. All right. So here's the instructions if you want to take a screenshot, but you basically need just 2 pieces of 6x6. Again, great way to get rid of your paper, or you can take a piece of 12x12 and cut it right in 4s. Then you're going to need 1 piece of 2.5 by 5 1/4, and this is white, and we're going to be using this for our inside of our card for our sentiment. And then we have a piece of early espresso we're using, and then we have a few cutouts. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to bring in the scoreboard. So here we go, and we're just going to put this piece right down here, and you are going to score it at 2.5. It's a 6x6 sheet of paper, so it doesn't matter, right? So you're just going to score it at 2.5, and then you're going to take the other piece and you're going to score it. You got it, 2.5. Now, the person that I saw do this, I want to make sure we give them credit. Her website is, or YouTube channel is Pink Strawberries. And I just loved it. I just thought it was such a simple design. So I want to make sure we give her credit. All right. So now we're going to take these and we're just going to fold them. And if we had our bone folder, which I forgot, I was so excited to share this with you guys. So I'm just going to run my finger across it, and we're going to do the same thing for the other one. All right. Now, it's not really tricky, but I really had to stop and think about what exactly I was trying to do. So the first thing you need to do is figure out what design you want on the outside for your lid. So again, here's our example here. This is our lid. I need to find out what color I want or what pattern I want there. So this is on the inside. This is on the outside. So again, this is the one I want on the outside. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my other piece and I am just going to slide it underneath. And again, you have to figure out what pattern you want. So I want the plaid. So this is what it's going to look like when I open it up. This is my flap. Okay, you guys see that? All right, so what I'm going to do, this is my lid, this is my flap. I'm going to turn it over because this is going to be just a 1-pocket card. This is going to be my pocket on the back. Now, you guys will see on the back of this one, I notched it out here. Can you see that? You know, so now we have like a little notch if we were to put something in there. So I'm going to show you, I just used a punch, and you can use any punch you want. You can put a die in here. You could cut it if you wanted to. But all you're going to do is you're going to take your piece of cardstock, line it up, just, make sure you have the same amount of space roughly on both sides. Just bring it in just a little bit, and then you're just going to punch. Now, you do not have to put a punch in there. That's just totally up to you. And then just double check, make sure it's still the way you want it. And then all we're going to do is we're going to turn it over, and we're going to take some of our Tombow glue. Now I'm going to show you guys, see this little bottle here? I actually put the Tombow glue in this little bottle. I absolutely love it. It makes for a very thin line. So here we go. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to run a little bit of glue, just a thin line along our edge here. Oops. I was crafting today with a friend, and I left this cap off, which is, not a good thing. All right. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to go down the sides, and I can get pretty close because this is such a thin line, so it's probably not going to squirt out a lot of times like the others. I am going to have that listed on my blog, but I just got them on Amazon, so nothing fancy, and you get like a whole bag. So if you have some friends that you craft with, that is certainly something you could pick up and then share. Okay, there we go. There is our pocket card. Now I have just a slight little bit of an edge here. I will probably run that through the paper trimmer just to get rid of it. All right, now we're going to bring in our piece of basic white and our early espresso. And now we're going to go ahead and glue. We're going to adhere this down onto our early espresso. Oops. Here we go. And line that up. I am a fan of the smaller borders, so you guys can see by the measurements here, it's just 1/8 of a border instead of 1/4. So again, you can make this as large or as small as you want. All right, now we're going to take this, and remember I said this was just going to be a one pocket card. So that's what it is. So you will notice on this particular one, I have a pocket on the back here, but then in here is where I'm actually going to have my sentiment, my place that I can write, I should say, inside the card. So now we're going to take this and glue it down. And these are just, it is such a simple project. I'm going to show you some other examples too after we do our other one. All right, so there we go. Now we're going to just fold that up, fold this down. And now what I did was I cut out a few of these labels from the Tasteful Label dies. I stamped the sentiment from the Handsomely Suited, and then I cut out this little red bow tie here from the Handsomely Suited as well. All right, so what we're going to do is we're actually going to just adhere these right here to this envelope, or to our flap here, I should say. So we're going to put that on, and we'll just kind of put it right in the center here. There we go. I told you guys I got so excited. It's like I left all my supplies. So we're going to take our little bow tie, and we're just going to kind of put that right there in the corner. And we'll just adhere that down as well. Right here. Look at that. And now we're just going to take this and adhere it right here onto the front flap. So remember, because we're only putting it on half, we're going to want to make sure we only put our adhesive on the top part of our envelope. Otherwise, right, we'll have the whole thing stuck. So we're just going to lay it like this and find that middle, just lining up the corners there. Make sure we have it centered. There we go. We'll press down and make sure that we have no adhesive here. And if you did, and you're like, oh man, I don't want to, you could always just take another die cut and cut right out. You know what I mean? So don't ever feel like you have to throw it away. It's just paper. It can all be fixed, right? And there you have it. Look at that. Guys, it's so simple. I love it. So that is one where we have our sentiment inside, but we have our nice little pocket in the back. Now we're going to go back to this one where we have 2 pockets. And for that one, let me move our instructions. So for this one, we are going to use some of the, move this out of the way. We're going to use some of the Sweet as a Peach paper. And then we also have some balmy blue and some basic white. This one we're not going to decorate completely. I just want to show you a couple different things you can do with this one. So here's our measurements. And again, this one is if we have 2 pockets. Okay, the other one was a 2-pocket card, but we only made 1 pocket. Right? That makes sense, right? So you need, again, 6 by 6, same DSP, or same number of pieces of DSP. You're going to need a piece of 2" by 5 and a half, and that's this piece here, only here it's balmy blue. And then we have a piece of 1/7 by 5 3/8 piece of basic white for our area where we're going to write. Okay, so now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to bring in our scoreboard, or again, you guys can use your paper trimmer. It has a nice scoring blade, which is absolutely awesome. One thing I want to make sure you guys are aware of, this paper, it doesn't really matter which direction it goes, except for the lines. So in this case, I do want to make sure the lines are going this way. So when I score, because remember it folds over, so in this case, because I want the lines to go horizontal, I'll need to make sure that that's how they're going. If they were going like this, they would be like vertical. So I just want to make sure everyone's understands that. Otherwise, it makes no difference how you put your paper on the scoreboard. Okay, so again, 2.5. This is just cannot get any easier, right? And then this one is also 2.5. Now in this case, we're using the same paper. So this will be interesting to see how it looks, right? All right, we're going to move that over, bring our paper in. And again, same thing. We're going to fold them up. Now, you have to decide. You might want it all striped. You might want the flowers go in one direction. Again, we're just going to see how it looks. I have not committed, I guess, one way or the other, which way I like it. I do like the stripes, I think, on the outside. So then I have to decide, do I want it to look like this? I don't think so. I don't know. I don't think I do. I actually think I like it like that. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So it's going to be striped this way. And then when you fold it open, you're going to be able to see those pretty flowers. All right. So that's how we're going to do it. So again, now I'm going to need to punch out because I kind of like the notches. So this is my lid. So this is the one I'm going to want to notch out. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to make sure I do that before I do any adhering of glue. All right. And then I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to do the same thing. Okay. So here's this piece that was notched. Now I'm going to notch out this side. That's going to be my back pocket. And just make sure lined up. All right, there we go. And then kind of put Humpty Dumpty back together again here. There we go. So back pocket here, front pocket here. All right, so we will start with our front pocket. And again, we're just going to line that right up there. And now we're going to take our glue. And again, we're just going to run it along the edge here. And once you guys kind of determine exactly, you know, how you want that, how you want your layout, I think it'll become super, super simple. So that's the only part that I was like super confused about. So I think if you say, what do I want my lid to be, and lay that out, the other piece just slides right underneath it. The larger piece that lines up with the bottom. And then I think you're not going to have any problem kind of figuring it out. All right, now we're going to turn it over. And again, do the same thing here. We're just going to glue it. And we already put some glue there at the bottom on the other side. So now we're just going to glue a thin line here and a thin line here. You know, this Tombow glue is some of the best, I will say. And the thing I like about taking the Tombow glue from, you know, this to this, I don't use nearly as much of it either, which is nice because you lose, you know, you use a lot of that glue. So that's like really awesome. I'll put a link down to it for you. Okay, there we go. We have two pockets. We have this pocket and this pocket. You could slide a note in here, guys. You could, you know, put a gift card, money, pictures, whatever you might find. All right, so now the only thing we need to do is take our piece of balmy blue and our piece of basic white, and we're just going to adhere those on our lid. The thing I like about this too is it makes our lid just a little bit sturdier, and it gives us a place to write a message. You could also put it, by the way, down here if you wanted to. You could do that. We're going to put it on the lid just because. All right, I'm going to go ahead and adhere this, and here we go. I will have these measurements, although I'm finding I really like doing the Post-it notes in the videos. That way you have them, and they're right there for you. But I will create a blog post as well. That makes it nice and easy as another place to kind of go and get that information for you. My blog is new, so it's pretty empty right now, but there's going to be some fun items going on that little blog. I'm looking forward to it. Okay, here we go. There we are. I love it. I love it. And then I was going to put this one right here, but oops, wrong side. There we go. And that's where our actual sentiment is going to go. I'm not going to do that right now. I want to show you a couple other cards. So I'm going to take the instructions here, and I'm just going to pull these in, and then I want to show you a couple other ones. So one of the other items that the gal talked about, and I made it just slightly different, was making like a little mini album. And again, forgive the paper, right? Because it's old. But what I started with is one of the two pieces of paper, right? Just like these. Here's our flap. Here's our bottom flap. And then here's our pocket in the back. But then what I did, if you take this, I actually took another piece of 6x6 paper and cut it in half. So I'm going to show this to you because I think it will make sense. So let me show you what I did. So I cut it in half, so it was 3x3, and then I scored it at 1/4 inch. Then what I did was I actually just adhered one on this side and one on this side, and this is what I got. So this is it right here. So this is the flap, the first flap, and then here's the one I adhered for another flap. And I did the same thing on this side. I have a flap and then another flap. So you guys literally could take this one here with all these different flaps. You could put just basic white cardstock in here and make it just like a community card. If you had a large group of people and you wanted everyone to write on it, you could do that. Decorate each one of these pages. This was for like a little mini album. And I thought, what a great idea to give if you guys are taking a spring break trip or a summer trip. Maybe you take a trip to the zoo. You could you could have this with white paper in it. You could have little envelope, like little pockets. And as kids get things, they could stuff them in their little booklet or stamps. You know, sometimes the zoo, they have different stamps. You could actually make this book ahead of time and put some white cardstock and they could get stamps from different areas. So many cute ideas with this. I'm a huge scrapbooker, so I just thought these little mini things, send them off with your kids, you know, give them to a teacher, whatever. But that's one of the options. The other item is, let me show you let me show you how to make this little flap here. It's not hard, right? I mean, you guys can probably figure it out, but let me just show you real quick. And I'm going to show you with just a regular paper trimmer here. So all I did was I took the piece of cardstock that's 6 by 6. I lined it up. I cut it at 3 inches. Then I moved it over to a 1/4 inch and I just scored it. And what that does is it gives you this little flap here, this very narrow flap, and you'll want to make sure you really burnish that down to make it flat. And then literally all you do, this will look really bad in this one, but all you do then is you're just going to adhere it right on that fold right there. So you just glue this part. So what I did actually, let me show you, was I laid it this way and I put my adhesive down here. And then all I did was I moved this one up and then that gave me my pocket. I found that to be the easiest way. So again, super cute. You could even do that with any of these, you know, pocket cards. You know, you could add another piece up here and then you've got a flap and a birthday card. So just so many choices and some just awesome ways to use up that paper. Okay, one more I want to share with you. So we have these two. We have our kind of our album. Again, forgive the outdated paper, but I really found it to be a great way to just use some of it up. And then the other thing I did was you could take, again, 3 by 3 sheets. So you take your 6 by 6, you cut it at 3 inches, then you score it. So now you've got this longer side, so it's 3 by 6, score it at 2.5. And now you have the exact same thing, only mini. So I have a pocket here. If I glue this down, I have a pocket here, turn it over, and I have a pocket right here. I mean, again, just a great way to use up some scraps and some great little pocket cards that you could, you know, easily fit like a little gift card in there or something like that. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. A lot of fun for me to share with you and show you how you can use this particular option. But if you enjoyed this video, would love for you to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you find the content useful to you and inspires and gives you some other ideas. Otherwise, thanks so much for joining. Have a great weekend. Thanks, guys. Bye.